That's where we're heading to. So there's pros and cons as well. So and the reason we got it done to the here job was I agree. 100 has to be a job. And pay out the mortgage. His mortgage is $1,000. He bought $150,000. He has all these insurance. He would have been awesome here.
See, we're trying to do a little bit of everything. We're not quite sure where we do. So we're doing a little bit of this, and this to kind of gauge that, I guess, see what we're good at,
So you're doing both. Yeah, absolutely. My question is, what you're saying is, okay, this market is saturated, and there's a lot of things to get press, magazines, telling, just get a lot of press there. This is a good opportunity. Do you start now looking for the next area that's really capable of getting a lot of press?
She doesn't want to
Everybody's thinking, right. That's what outfits are going, right? Yeah? I want to come to your meeting. I want to come to your Monday meeting. Not on a holiday, though.
It's very hard. Yeah, oh yeah.
Folks, we're going to get started with our last segment here.
So you're doing it off of your mailing. I'm going to put it off your mailing. Like I said, we're saturated.
Okay, real quick before Larry gets started. No? Just hang on. Everyone, please. We're almost done. Two things. One, the comment card that's in front of you, if you haven't filled it out, please do so. We base a lot of what we do future events on based on your feedback. So be honest, be brutally honest. And I have a quick announcement. My friends David and John, David Cash and John, I have a hard time with his name. So, yeah, they're the owners of Professional Grade Mortgage, which is a mortgage company over in downtown St. Pete, and we are co-hosting or co-sponsoring their grand opening event, and any BABA8 is welcome to attend. So write this down. We were going to have flyers, but we don't, so write it down. June 3rd, from 5:30 to 8:30 at Cassis. It's a very cool restaurant at 170 Beach Drive, Northeast in St. Pete. And this will also be on the BABA8 page if you missed it. 5:30. 5:30 to 8:30. Cool. Okay. So now for some excitement, the champion builder. He's building this champion. He's a business coach and also he doesn't mind being called a guru. So He's a Facebook and other social media guru, and he's got a special offer for all BABA agents, but first he's going to walk you through some stuff that is going to be new to you. Larry Beacham.
Thank you, Kev. Clap it up for Larry Beacham. Okay, I know what's going on. Everybody's tired from the pool beef and the turkey and the Thanksgiving dressing. I mean, good Lord. I was over there, I needed to get like 3 cups of coffee because I really was falling asleep. All right, so hopefully you've saved enough energy for me. This mic is awesome. The other mics were crazy. This one's good. Is it me? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. How many of you enjoyed BABA so far? By a round of applause. Okay, excellent. Incredible value that's been delivered. I want to encourage you again, as I said in the beginning, to make sure you register for BABA9 because every BABA is different. There's going to be an accumulation of value over time that you're going to need to help you build your business. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit of a backdrop to what I'm going to talk about today as far as Facebook is concerned. Now, I want to prepare you for something. I'm not going to give you a technical explanation of Facebook, so don't worry. Maybe 10% of people ran out of here thinking I was going to get technical, but I'm not. I'm going to be more tactical and strategic and conceptual to help you understand how you can, in fact, get results from Facebook marketing. All right? First question, who in here is on Facebook? Everybody's on Facebook. Who in here is on Facebook with the intention of getting business from it? The same number of hands did not go up. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Well, for those that raise their hand, here's the deal. I'm going to make a bold claim about Facebook. Some of you may not even believe or may want to ignore, but I'm going to make this bold claim anyway. And then I'll attempt to prove it out in my presentation. You need Facebook. You don't want Facebook. It's not an option to have it. You need it. You need Facebook specifically because it's the #1 social networking site on the planet. It's basically a country. It's 1 billion people on Facebook. That's more people in the U.S. or on Facebook than in the U.S. itself. But more specifically, here's what I need you to understand. Facebook has the greatest influence on buying decisions across all verticals. It doesn't matter what it is. All. The greatest buying decision. And also, the reason why you need Facebook is because, for what it's worth, my 16-year-old son is going to want to buy a house at some point, and he's not going to buy it from you if you're not in social media properly positioned. So you got to let go of the idea that you don't need it because you feel good and you're doing business good now. If you want to be in business 25 or 30 years from now, I have a 3-year-old that needs to do business with you, but guess what? He is going to do business based upon social media primarily. Does that make sense? I have 6 kids. I think I mentioned that before. So they go from 3 all the way up to 19. Got them from diapers to driving. So when I come to these events, the applause, I come for applause because they don't applaud me. How many of you got kids? Kids applaud y'all, tell you thank you? Nope, they take the money and just, they don't care. So anyway, so back to social media, Facebook. You need Facebook. 74% of buying decisions have been influenced by social media, and Facebook is at the top of the list. You absolutely have to be properly positioned, and most of you have no idea what that means, and therefore you take it for granted. Okay, and I hope to bring some value to this by specifically talking about why you need it. All right. Now, when I'm done, if you don't think, Larry, still don't need Facebook. Well, okay, we'll see. How many times? Okay, one more point. Some of you are like this. How many of you have seen people doing this? How many people walk around like this? What are they looking at? Facebook. Exactly. Okay. So I made my point. All right. So I have this up here because one of the cool things about Facebook, it's the #1 platform in the world for what's really considered target marketing, what's really considered bullseye marketing. Here's what I mean. Compare what I'm about to say about Facebook to any other form of marketing in the world. Let me show you a little graphic. I did a little search. Okay, this is the back office of Facebook's platform where you can do a paid ad, okay? And so what I decided to do, I'm pointing to the key things like interests, behaviors. Facebook tracks your behaviors. If you have a nail biting habit, Facebook knows about it. I'm dancing. You think I'm joking around? If you have a nail biting habit, Facebook knows about it. So I did this search when I first started doing this training to prove to people how they really need Facebook. I did a search for peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter and jelly, right? And here's what Facebook says. 20,124,500 people right now have some sort of a relationship with peanut butter and jelly. This, you can't see where it says source. Yeah, exactly. It says loyalty card and transaction level household purchase data with multi-channel. What does that mean? I have no idea, but here's the point. Facebook knows and it's telling us for free. What advertising agency can you get with and have them give you this much data for nothing up front? It just doesn't happen. But they're telling you. And it's loyalty cards. Facebook doesn't sell loyalty cards, so what does that tell you? They're spending billions of dollars outside of their platform to gather the data to match it to members on Facebook. That's why you need Facebook. What if somebody's house, what if somebody's 6 months away from their itch cycle of buying a new house? What if they're 6 months away? Facebook knows that. Wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want to know if somebody's 6 months away so you can get in position? If somebody's house is going to expire, wouldn't you want to know? If somebody's child moves out and they need to downsize, wouldn't you want to know? Facebook knows. Tell me you don't need Facebook. Tell me you don't need Facebook. But this is the start of how you understand this. The reason you can't wing it on Facebook, okay? So let me move along. Why most real estate agents, I should say, can't get listings and buyers, because what else would you be on Facebook for other than listings and buyers or investors is this particular conference, right? Am I wrong? Is there anything else you want to be on Facebook for business? No. Here's the number one reason why they can't. You're winging it. You're absolutely you're just throwing mud on the wall hoping that something sticks. Or you have seen bits and pieces and fragments of tactics and stuff that people talk about. You should post a picture. You should post a video. You should go for likes, shares, and comments. Some of you heard and probably tried that stuff, but here's the question. Are you getting any deals? I mean, are you? Raise your hand if you're getting deals from that stuff. Perfect. 1 out of what? 50 people. 2 out of 50. Perfect. So what does that mean for the rest of you that raised your hand and said Facebook is part of my business strategy? You're winging it, exactly. Most people aren't honest enough to say they're winging it because nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to look like they don't know what they're doing, but the truth is your results already have basically ratted you out. You're winging it. You can't afford to wing it. Quit winging it. How do you quit winging it? Well, somebody like me has to come along and show you how not to wing it, but we have to understand it's not acceptable anymore in this room to wing it on Facebook if you want Facebook as a part of your marketing strategy, okay? You all went to real estate. It wouldn't let you wing it, even sell houses, right? You had to go spend money, sit in class, fall asleep, all the stuff my wife just did, just to flunk the test once, 2 or 3 times and finally make it. And then now you're out here selling houses. But guess what? You're here because you don't want to wing it even in your career. You want to get better. So don't wing it, all right? So 5 mistakes that agents make when they try to get listings and buyers using Facebook. Here are the top 5 mistakes. There's other stuff. But I would say these are the top 5. Number 1 is over-focusing on getting stuff like likes. How many of you know what a like is? Do I need to explain what a like is? Okay. Everybody knows what a like is. Well, see, they hear, oh, you should build a fan page and get a bunch of likes. Okay, that's okay, and that's certainly part of the process. But if you only know that you should get a like, you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. I'm not going to read off all 5 of these, but let me give you kind of a parallel story. I used to teach chess at a summer camp for kids. And the first thing I would do is teach them how the pieces move. How the knight moved, the bishop, the pawns, etc. And then after I taught them how the pieces moved, I did a free-for-all. Here, you sit here, we'll put a board here. You move, you move, you move, you move, right? So they're just moving the pieces. Now some of the kids made a mistake to think that they were playing chess. Just because you can move the pieces doesn't make you a chess player. Just because you get a real estate license doesn't make you a realtor, does it? You can't just be tactical. You can't just know tactics. You have to know strategy. You have to know why you're making these moves. Why do you need a like? Why do you run a paid ad? What result are you supposed to get? Even if you're doing it for free, it's a waste of your money. Because time is what? Money. Exactly. But these are the top 5 things that most people do when it comes, okay, use their page like a branding brochure. There's a realtor right now that I really want to help this person, but I don't think they're ready. And all they do every single time I've seen them is talk about the market. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna, so-and-so's on today to talk about the market. They don't care. They don't care about the numbers. How many of you listen to sports radio? Okay, there's a bunch of guys. Sports radio. Do they talk about stats or do they talk about other stuff? Other stuff, right. Because if they did stats all day long, nobody would listen. You gotta learn to give people what they want. They don't want stats. They don't want to know how many houses closed, because if they did, you'd be getting listings from it. I mean, it just makes sense, right? But that's what people do. They think that's what social media is about. The word social is an important word here. Social media. What does it mean to be social? It means to be engaging, to be liked, to just be somebody that people want to be around. But as a business owner, you can convert the social side of it into value, and that's what people ultimately want. So Facebook lead generation is not boosting posts in the sense that it's a tactic, but that's not all that you need to do. It's not about just getting your name out there. I want to get my name out there. So what? Your name's out there. Okay, great. What does that mean? Nothing. Getting likes, shares, and comments. Being engaging. So social media is about definitely being engaging, but that's not a tactic that's specific to getting listings and buyers. It's not. And branding your company and all that stuff, okay? So think about this. This is a quote from HubSpot. And they talked about Facebook here. Instead of old marketing methods of buying ads, buying email lists, praying for leads, focus on creating quality content that pulls people toward your company and product where they naturally want to be. The specific focus here is on content. Right now, this conference added to your content in your head. It added value. And specific to this particular BABA, we're talking most of us about investing and investors. Well, guess what? If you want to now go out and get the business, you want to take what you learned today and create content around that. There's somebody right now that's scratching their head about how to get into real estate investing. Well, how about you go and say, here's the ABCs of how to get started. How about you just go ahead and give that out? That's called quality content. That's an example of quality content. In order to generate leads and buyers, you need to become a source of value, okay? Now, becoming a source of value is some of the specific things here. I'm going to give you a scenario here in a moment to help anchor this. But these are the things when it comes to creating content. And here's the biggest complaint I get from most people. It doesn't matter when I talk Facebook, especially those that say they want Facebook for business. I don't have time. I don't have time for that. Okay. Do you answer your phone ever? Does anybody ever get a phone call? Do you answer questions that people call you? You got time for that, don't you? Anybody ever send you an email? Do they ask questions in those emails? You got time for that, don't you? Anybody ever send you a message on Facebook? You answer that question? So it's the same. It's no different. You're not allocating extra time. You're just now having a stronger focus because you're doing it with skill. You're not winging it. It feels like it's not working because you know what you're doing. It's the same feeling my son had the other day when he got behind the wheel of our van for the first time. Wow, this is overwhelming. He couldn't believe how overwhelming the pedals were and the steering, and because he's used to sitting over here watching me do it with, you know, doing stuff I shouldn't be doing behind the wheel. But I'm so used to doing it. I've been trained and skilled at it so long, it's natural to me. But to him, it feels like it's so much more extra effort. But the problem that all of us face is we feel that way because it's new. But if you just take 5-10 minutes a day to do what you need to do, you can get mega results. That's it, 5 to 10 minutes a day, all right? So let me give you a scenario as I break this down to help this make sense. Let me use my buddy Irene, who's up front. Is that cool, Irene? Can I use you since I already said I wouldn't use you? I can use you. Okay, great. So I'm gonna use Irene. So here's a scenario. I need you to get this. If you get this, you can crush it on Facebook, and you can get leads, and you can get buyers. If you get this. So I move into a brand new neighborhood. Me and my wife, our kids, back the U-Haul truck up into the driveway, okay? And while I'm moving in, I don't know Irene, she's in the neighborhood, but she sees me moving in. And she decides to come over and introduce herself. Hi, I'm Irene, I live in the White House with blue trim. Welcome to the neighborhood, where are you from? So we get into a little bit of a small talk. At the end of the small talk, Irene says, you know what, I'm from the old school. My old neighborhood, when I grew up, when there was a new family came in town, we did a housewarming party for them. We came in with pies and cakes and food and all kind of stuff because we knew the mother or the wife would be worn out, wouldn't want to cook. So we want to, you know, that's what we would normally do. But I'm not going to go that far. But I would like to give you a housewarming gift. And so Irene hands me a housewarming gift. It could be gardening tools or whatever, who knows. A little box that says, welcome to the neighborhood on the top of it. And this is the first time Irene and I have met. And then we part ways. A couple weeks later, I moved in. I'm in my yard, trying to get my yard up because the last owner tore up the yard. Irene sees me. I see Irene. I notice her yard looks like something out of Better Homes and Gardens. It's immaculate, it's incredible. And Irene, I said, Irene, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good, Larry. The yard looks amazing. How did you do that? And Irene says, well, I got this brochure in my garage I can give you, it says 10 tips on how to make your yard look. A pro did it for 60% less. I'm like, really? She's like, would you like it? I'm like, yeah, I like the brochure. So Irene gives me the brochure, a little small talk again, and we go our separate ways. Now every time I see Irene, well, almost every time, we're talking, hey Larry, I noticed that you planted some flowers. You might want to move the flowers 6 inches from the house because when the sun hits the house a certain way, it's going to blah, blah, blah. Or I noticed how you trim the bushes. Blah, so every time I see Irene, she's talking about something. Hey, I noticed your roof. Have you had anybody go up and inspect your roof because blah, blah, blah. So every time I see Irene, she's talking about something that adds value to me or my property, right? And I also noticed that Irene has the same habit with the other neighbors. As a matter of fact, some of the neighbors are in her driveway asking her questions about stuff. Hey, I noticed that this is going on in the neighborhood. Well, yeah, there's a development that took place about 2 years ago that just started this process, and that's why that's popping up over here. So what do you think about the property value, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, she's the expert in the area of all this stuff. I don't know. So one day I get a job offer, and I have to now about the house I just moved into, right? But I'm new to the area, and I don't know anybody. Who do you think I'm going to ask? Hello, who do you think I'm going to ask? Y'all follow me? Okay, so Irene, you're the only one to answer. So I'm going to ask Irene. I'm going to go, so here's the deal. Here's what I want you to get. My subconscious mind has told me that Irene is the resident expert on this stuff. So I go knock on her door for the first time and say, Irene, listen, I have a job offer. I'm going to take it. I got to move away. I need to sell this house. Do you know anybody that I can get to sell the house? She says, absolutely, I sure do. And she goes to her desk, grabs a business card, and hands it to me. And I look at it for the first time and go, you're a real estate agent? I never even knew it. You know why? Because she didn't try to pitch me on it. Now, here's the point. That's social media, ladies and gentlemen. From the time she met me, what did she do? She added value to me. Housewarming gift, bushes, roof, area. She was constantly making sure the knowledge that she had, she delivered to me and the others in the neighborhood. Now here's the question. Even if Irene is a new real estate agent, and there's another agent in the neighborhood who I don't know, who's more credible, more successful, do you really think I would hire them over her? Do you think I would really hire them over her? Why not? Relationship. This whole relationship she cultivated from way back when she first saw me. But as I said, the whole neighborhood has benefited from her. Then I come to find out most of the houses in the neighborhood she sold for the same process. That is social media. That's Facebook. If you can be smart and consistent and really just more like a sacrificial servant leader to the people you want to actually have hire you, you get up every day and you decide that I'm going to make people better with what I know. That's how people are engaging. They don't care about your business card. They don't care about your credentials. They don't care about your designations. It doesn't matter. How did it make them better? How did it improve their situation? It didn't. But what I'm getting at is why I said teach, try and educate. If you go to my house right now, and I didn't rake like I should have, the leaves murdered the grass around. I got this like giant circular brown dead spot around my tree. Now, as a real estate agent, you probably already know that anybody that has a tree in their yard, that's going to happen. Why don't you tell me how to fix the problem? Better yet, why don't you teach me how to prevent the problem? Well, Larry, that has nothing to do with a house. It doesn't? It doesn't. The #1 realtor in Pinellas County on her fan page put a post up about how to clean an iron. Clean an iron tip. Now, who is she targeting? I don't know. Maybe she's targeting a mom. All right? But she's the #1 agent. And that's what she's posted on Facebook. How to clean the iron. That's counterintuitive to the average real estate. Oh, it's stupid. No, she gets it. She gets the fact that I have value and knowledge that can serve the marketplace. And I'm going to cultivate the marketplace in that manner. Okay? Does that make sense? Am I pressing this in? Because I need you to get it. Okay? So let's talk about the path. The pathway. This is the pathway on social media. This is the pathway on Facebook. Now I know I keep saying social media because really, for the most part, you got to figure out the others, how they work. But since you're all on Facebook, it's the same. This is the pathway. The value content. Let me ask you a very basic question. Have you made the poor assumption that most people know how to hire a realtor? How about you go ahead and just teach people how to hire a realtor? Here are the top 7 questions you need to ask a realtor before you hire one. Ask the average person, well, do you know how to hire a realtor? What would you ask them? I don't know, I just go to Facebook and see who knows a realtor and see. See, that's what I'm talking about. We're missing out because people that understand what I just said are doing it on a consistent basis. Teach me how to hire a realtor. Somebody's house expires every single day on the MLS, right? Am I right about that? Well, there's probably 6 or 7 reasons why that happened, right? Why don't you go ahead and create some content and say, hey, here are the top 7 reasons why your house didn't sell in your subdivision. See what I'm saying? This is what Facebook is about. And again, it's the same stuff you would, if I called you right now and said, hey, you know, my house is expired, what do you think happened? Well, Larry, here's the 7 reasons why it would have happened. See, you're already going to answer the question. So here's the point. Every time a question is asked, multiply that by 10,000 because there's at least that many people asking that question right now somewhere, somehow in the world. Your world of real estate. Be ahead of the question. Be ahead of the problem. You know, I'm upside down in my mortgage. How do you get out of that? I have a poor credit score and I don't really know how to get in position to buy a house. How do you fix that? This is the stuff I'm talking about that we all can deliver. Have I hit some things that you all know how to answer? Absolutely. And here's the real big thing I want you to think about, as I say every time I do this talk. How many of you, and this is kind of a test, this is a fun test, how many of you believe you're the best at what you do? Okay, 3 of you, perfect, all right. 3 of you do, bless what you did. No, seriously, how many of you believe you're the best at what you do? Can I get at least, okay, I'm tired, okay, I'm gonna hurry up, Here's the reason why I asked the question. If you believe you're the best at what you do, there's 2 problems that happen if you're not properly positioned on Facebook. Problem number 1 is, if you're not properly positioned, I get second best that is properly positioned. And the second bad thing is you don't get the business because you're not there. You know, so that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's very simple. People are doing this kind of stuff every single day. Call to action. I'm going to break all of these down in a second. So value content leads to call to action. You can't just get a like. You want them to actually do something. You want them to take an action that gets them closer to the process of hiring you as the agent. List building. I'm not going to ask you how many of you have a growing list, but every single day somebody needs to be deposited into a contact management system through your value-based marketing. Your list should be growing every single day. You should be cultivating a list every single day. Building trust and authority. Incredible. On social media, me and Kevin were just talking about this. We got an idea that we're working on right now for him in terms of branding and authority. Not going to drop it on y'all, but it's pretty hilarious, and trust me, it's going to work. But my point is, being different, being contrarian, by positioning yourself as an authority or an expert is incredibly valuable. Quick 30-second story. In 2009, I wrote a book for LinkedIn marketing. And all of a sudden, people started calling me the LinkedIn King. I don't know where that came from, but that was what they called me. If you Google my name, you'll see that. And the reason that's the case is because I started delivering unique value to the marketplace, and when it came time for people to learn how to generate leads on LinkedIn, they called me because I had the authority. And then it leads to that. So let's break this down quickly, I'm gonna be done, okay? So value content, create a how-to. How to do this, how to do that, how to overcome this, how to overcome that, how to avoid this. How to. Do's and don'ts. Here's what you should do, here's what you shouldn't do. Do this, not that. How many of you heard the book, Eat This, Not That? Okay, 3 people, perfect. This is a good book, you should pick it up. But stuff like that works. You know, creating lists, I don't have it up there, but top 10s. There's a website that's dedicated to nothing but top 10 stuff. Matter of fact, anytime you put a number in front of a headline, people are more likely to click on it. 17 reasons why you should never ever hire blah, blah, blah. 18 ways to win a horse, 18 ways to win at the tracks. People love lists. Advice and interviews. What did Kevin just do today? He did several interviews, a panel interview. I love the panel interview. That to me was the best. Because I got to hear from experts. People that are, you know, knowledgeable in their field. Videos, audios, images. I love doing videos. Some of you may not want to do a video. You don't have to do it. My point is, it's an option for you to. Blogging, YouTube, the list goes on. Now, of course, blogging and YouTube and all that other stuff is off of Facebook. But my point is, you want to have a call to action to take them somewhere so that they can have an opportunity to grab some value that they can download, which turns them into a list for you. Okay? Now, call to action. Well, call to action is simply you want them to do something so that you can get their contact information. So most people understand list building as you got a website, you got a form, they put their information in the form, and now they become part of your list. All right? And that's part of the cultivation process. So my challenge to all of you is to create unique content. Create something that's got your name on it, not just Century 21 or whoever you're with or Keller Williams.